Hey guys, welcome, welcome to the Kurt Cobain live stream. It is the day that grunge died, and we are going to pay tribute to Kurt Cobain, who is no longer with us. He died 24 years ago today. And so the first half of this video, of this live stream, I have some awesome little Nirvana stuff that I was just going to share with you guys, talk to you about favorite songs. I was also going to give away a $10, or I think I was going to give away two $5 or one $10 Amazon gift card to the person who can answer a certain question. As a lot of you viewers know out there, and mostly a lot of you out there that are watching this are only watching this because you subscribe to my channel and you know how obsessed I am about Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. So obviously this day is very important, and I'm wearing my grunge makeup. I meant to grab my grunge shirt, but I totally forgot it. So I'm grunged out. Let's talk the first half about Kurt, the music, all that stuff. And then the second half, we'll have that left over for like thoughts on his suicide and death and all that stuff. So welcome. So if you are here, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe if you would like more. Now I do this every single year. I should do this in February. Whenever he was born. So I don't know why I only do it on April 5th, but I certainly do. So this also, guys, this episode is coming to you by little mini Kurt, courtesy of Tami Sifford, who is in the comments. This is my Pop Funko Kurt. Now, this Kurt and I, we don't usually get along because he's the smells like Teen Spirit Kurt. And I gotta say, out of absolutely all songs of Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit is the one that I fucking hate the most. I mean, the most. It's very poppy, and it's more into pop culture. I understand that's what launched them into stardom and all that stuff. But for me, I was listening to them before 90 or before 91 when they got famous. And I don't know. I don't know. It's the least song that I identify with. So this live stream is coming to you with Little Kurt and with my kick-ass Nirvana keychain. I found this at like a half-price books. It's for like $3 or $4. And I mean, it's one of those good, thick metal or steel, keychains. So this one is obviously going to last. That was really cheap. And then this, like I said, was courtesy of Tami Sifford, who knows how much I love Kurt Cobain. And even though it is the Smells Like Teen Spirit Kurt Cobain, I'm still going to love him as if he were, in utero Kurt Cobain. So absolutely. So we're going to, if you guys would like to see a little bit more of him, I do have a video where it's a surprise in the mail. That's the title of the video. And if you'd like to go watch it, that's where I actually open him up and get surprised. Now, I have never opened Pop Funko Kurt. I never intend to open Pop Funko Kurt. I don't know. It's just a thing. I don't know if you guys can see in the background, but I got Pop Funko Ruby and Pop Funko Ash. That's from Army of Darkness, and she's from Ash vs. Evil Dead. And only one of them has actually been opened. And I just have this thing about never opening my stuff. So, Kurt is going to stay that way too. So, so if in order to earn the actual gift card, so sorry, it is so crappy with pollen outside. I have so much congestion. I apologize. All the pollen is really coming here in Texas. And I mean, I'm serious. It's in big, thick clumps, and it's insane. You can't take one step outside without getting your nose all crazy congested. So BRT, it's so great to have you. Hey, Glenn, it's great to have you too. AJ Wyatt is still pissed at Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know, AJ, I have not made those videos yet because I'm still pissed about it myself. So, bitch, you and I are on the exact same page with this. But I'm really thinking that Pablo's Especial Brujo, powers are going to come into this. So absolutely, I believe that she'll be resurrected. What's up, Jamario? It's so great to have you. BRT and our Tami Pickles Sifford are in the comments. It is so great to have you two, my moderators. Very happy to have y'all here. Red Innan, oh, it's so great to see you too. I really did miss you. Let's see, we got, oh, and Alicia. Alicia, another moderator, is here. So glad to see you. Hi, apple pie in the sky. It is so great to see you too. Okay, so guys, Hi Apple Pie is basically asking the question in order to get the Amazon gift card. So don't forget, I'm giving away a $10 Amazon gift card, and it'll be online. So it's nothing that's gonna like be mailed to you. I love Amazon. All I gotta do is electronically transfer $10 to them, and they digitally send you a gift card. So I love it. It doesn't matter what country you're in or where you're at, as long as you have a valid email address, you can get the prize. So this is fantastic, guys. It is 9:06 for me right now. Let's do the contest at like 9:15. And Hi Apple Pie has, I've been thinking about this for a while. What would be a great Nirvana question to ask you guys? Because I even have this book right here, Nirvana Frequently Asked Questions. It's very, I read this like a long time ago when I bought it. I mean, it's basically already stuff that I knew, but I'm very obsessive and I will buy anything that is either Kurt Cobain or Nirvana. I very much love Foo Fighters. Chris Novoselic, he's living the regular guy life, doing the politician thing. I believe he still is. And so he's just living the regular guy's life. So since really there isn't too much, Foo Fighters recently came to Austin, and 101X was giving away tickets, and I really wanted to go, but it is so hard to go when you have 4 kids. If I couldn't go and see my guy Bruce Campbell in the woods narrating The Evil Dead 2 while it plays in an old cabin, I didn't think I should allow myself to go see Foo Fighters. I would definitely pick Bruce over Dave Grohl. Don't strike me down, Kurt, but I would pick Bruce Campbell over Dave Grohl any day. So if I can't go see Bruce, I skip Foo Fighters. So this was very generic. There was some things in there. Just a couple of things I didn't know. Because, okay, so if you guys do not know, also I want to hear how you guys discovered Nirvana. I know a lot of you know how I discovered Nirvana, and if not, I'll reiterate it one more time. It was like Christmas, or like at the end of the year. I believe it was 89 or 90. I'm kind of positive it was 90. But NWA was still together. They hadn't broken up yet. So I don't know what to make of this. So it was either the end of the year, 89 or 90. My brothers and I, we were in Highland Mall, and I was looking for the new NWA tape. Oh my God. And I remember I didn't see it. And I thought, well, crap, there's, all the other musicians that I liked. I did not see anything brand new. I was so looking forward to listening to something on the way home, because it's like an hour ride from Austin to our house. And then I saw Nirvana, and it was Bleach, and it was one tape. And so I thought, Bleach, that's really catchy to kind of name your record. So I pulled it out and looked at it, and I thought, okay, well, what the hell? I mean, it was actually pretty cheaper than, I think I had, back then, even cassette tapes were like $19.99 and $29.99. So I think I had about 20 bucks, and the tape was like $4.99. And I just remember thinking, holy shit, I can get some music and I can get some books from the bookstore. So it was a major score for me. And I listened to the front and back of Bleach all the way home on my little cassette player. And I was just never the same since. So that's how I was introduced to Nirvana. And like I said, this was obviously before they became poppy. I know there was a couple of times where they were advertised on MTV, and I used to watch a lot of MTV in the 80s and the early 90s, because unfortunately the late 90s is when it started to suck. Let's just be real here. MTV totally blows now. I never watch it. The only time I do is like when they have that Teen Mom thing on, sometimes I'll watch it, but I really would rather watch Grace Report. She reviews the show and she is so brutally honest. So other than that, I do not watch MTV at all. But back then it was on my TV 24/7. I mean, man, I really wish you guys could have experienced the great music era of MTV, because it really was fantastic. I remember having it on literally 24/7 in my little TV in my room and listening to every different kind of music. And then at night when my parents would say, okay, turn off your TVs, go to bed, I put on the radio and just put on my headphones and listen to music that way. I was always playing music growing up, always. And I was always reading, so I could multitask and do both. And so, yeah, absolutely. I love Nirvana. They were my favorite band forever. And then, now, I don't know if you guys remember, but after, you guys okay? Okay. After when Kurt died, it was a couple of days until it was discovered. So, but when they released it, I remember that day specifically because it was a Friday and I had just gotten off the bus from school. Unfortunately, I had to ride a bus. This was 94. So, you know, I was like a freshman in high school. And yeah, I was a freshman in high school. Yes, I was a freshman. I had to think real quick about it. I'm so sorry. Either I was a freshman in high school or I was in 8th grade. I don't remember, but it was one of the two. I came home off the bus, flipped on MTV as usual, and went to go like make a snack or something. And Kurt Loder was going off about the death of Kurt Cobain. And I was like, what? I mean, I was just shocked. And then my brothers came home and of course kicked me out of the living room because I think they had their friends or their girlfriends with them. Kicked me out of the living room, didn't give a shit that Kurt Cobain was dead. And I just remember like almost being traumatized. Like what of the young teens that were standing outside like in the vigils. And of course my brothers, like they didn't, I don't think they listened to Nirvana. My oldest brother is an old soul, so he really liked older music. My middle brother really only liked rap. And so for me, I didn't care as long as it wasn't country, I'd listen to it. But they did not listen to Nirvana and they just did not care. And I just remember like yelling at my brother, you would care if it was Jimi Hendrix. And then, you know, thinking, oh yeah, you know, Jimi Hendrix is dead. So yeah. So what do you guys think? Okay. So BRT is talking about soaked in bleach. Okay. So hang on to that, guys, because we are going to discuss that at 9:30. So we have 18 minutes or 17 minutes, and then we're going to discuss that. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I have so much pollen in me. Chase says, what's going on? It's been a while for me. It's nice to have you, Chase. Tami says, it was pouring that day and they were all down the Pacific Science area. Oh, Tami says, I remember when they were going to do a biopic, but Courtney put the kibosh on it. Tami was talking, oh, it needs to add it all up together. Oh no, I see in the comments where you guys are already going on about the you know, conspiracy theory. Sorry. The reason I say conspiracy theory is because my husband and I were talking about this earlier. There's so much compelling information to show that he was depressed and mixed with the drugs that it's very likely that he killed himself. But it's also very overwhelmingly compelling that combined with all the drugs that he took that day, the letter and the whole act of suicide itself, which I read, I mean, guys, come on, I just only grabbed a couple of books that I have, and I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 books just that I have within grabbing distance of Kurt Cobain, which I know a lot of people also hate this book, Heavier Than Heaven. It's like the biography. It's like a biased biography about Kurt Cobain. It's a long time I've read this book. Obviously, you can see by the spine. I never bend the spines in my book, but you can tell that this one has been bent. for long bits of reading. So it is kind of hard to get essentially an accurate picture, but having a family member that, or a close family member that was addicted to heroin, and you know, seeing that kind of stuff, I can only just not understand about why would you shoot up only to shoot yourself afterwards. And then, like I said, a lot of people that were very close to Kurt said that he was just not a violent person, and if he was going to kill himself, that would not be the way. He was just not about violence. And the whole act of how he went out was all about was very violent, very graphic. Possibly he would have like taken some pills, went to sleep, you know, but you know, it doesn't matter. The whole fact is that it was the act itself that he did, and how he went about it, that was very questioning. And a lot of people close to him have said this. So we're going to talk about this again, like I said, at 9:30. Let me know what your favorite Nirvana song is. Let me know if you ever saw them live, and what is your favorite bit of collectible memorabilia that you have. Now, I want to show you guys very quickly. One of my favorite, sorry, I have the Time Life ones from last year when they put that out for, yeah, he would have been 50 last year. So I believe they put this out last year, and I got that. But the Kurt Cobain journals. I know we talked about this too the last time I had a live stream, because it's also very important. But when you open this book, the first thing it says, literally the first thing it says in here is, "Don't read my diary when I'm gone." And it kind of felt like I was intruding at that point, you know? Like I was intruding on something very personal and very private. So I will admit, I have not read every page of the journals, but this is one of my favorite pieces. It's a hardbound first edition, and I love it very much. I paid a lot of money for it, and I also have the Rolling Stones photography, like scrapbook of Kurt Cobain. I've got a lot of stuff. I should probably do a video of like all the Nirvana and Kurt Cobain stuff I have. But as you guys know, there's only 3 people who I throw my money at, and that's my husband, Kurt Cobain, and Bruce Campbell. And seeing as the fact that Kurt Cobain has passed, and I own pretty much a lot of stuff anyway of, you know, Nirvana, I really just throw it all now at Bruce and my husband. So yeah. Let's see. Poetic Sparrow says, "I once heard that Smells Like Teen Spirit came from a tagging wall. Someone wrote Kurt smells like Teen Spirit, wearing meaning the deodorant, after seeing him make out with some girl." Oh, that's funny, Poetic Sparrow. I love that. Mary, queen of playing copyrighted music. Hell yeah, I don't care if I get copyrighted music. Stray Bullet, all apologies. Absolutely. I'm playing only Nirvana tonight. And okay, guys, so let's talk about the contest very quickly. Again, everybody qualifies. You just have to have a valid email address. And this is coming from my Patreons. Again, guys, the link to my Patreon is in the description. I know I have slacked off a little bit on it. It was my daughter's birthday. My son's is coming up. It's my wedding anniversary in a couple of days. So, and then it was Easter. So I am so sorry. I've been a little behind on my videos, but I am coming back. And especially weekly Wednesday live streams are coming back too. So Patreon goes to pay for the prizes and all that stuff that I give away on the channel. So if you want to pledge or help pay for the prizes, just go to the link that's in the description. And I would love to accept any help to give away these prizes. So in order to earn the $10 gift card, you guys got to answer this question. Because if you guys know me, you would know the answer to this. So we're going to see how this first question goes. If it's too hard and nobody can answer it, I'll do another one. But the first one I'm going to ask is, what is my favorite Nirvana song? I have said this so many times. Now, Casey, Tami, BRT, Alicia, you guys do not qualify for this prize. I'm so sorry, but you guys more than likely know the answer. So it's 9:20. The question is, what is my favorite Nirvana song? First person who answers it right wins the $10 gift card. And again, you just have to have a valid email address to receive it. Casey says, do you think Courtney killed Kurt? We'll go into that, Casey. BRT says that Kurt would probably choose to throw his money at Bruce as well. Alicia says that her favorite song is The Man That Sold the World, even though Bowie said that once they covered the song, it belonged to Nirvana. Yeah. AJ says, dude, I'm saving up for the MTV Unplugged Nirvana vinyl because I have a record player. Oh, shit, that's badass. Dude, and I had the MTV Unplugged of Nirvana, the entire thing on DVD, and I had where they were just performing like some of their shit from you know, from Smells Like Teen Spirit record. They were performing it on MTV and some asshole stole it from me and I do not have them anymore. So now I'm on the hunt to reclaim them again. And now, unfortunately, too, I don't really know a lot of people about what, you know, I guess you can't fault a thief with good taste. I mean, if you're going to steal something, take somebody's Kurt Cobain stuff. So, okay, let's see. Let's hit the comments. Okay, Casey says he's gonna keep quiet. Okay, please let's take a look real quick. Just Me has that same Life magazine. Just Me, I love your face. I have the same keychain. Hey, Supreme. So I have the same keychain. I have the same thing. I love your face. AJ says The Man Who Sold the World. It's a cover, but I fell in love with it. It's playing right now, AJ, right as soon as I read your comment. That is so awesome. Let's see. We also do realize we're putting money in Courtney's pocket, right? Shut up, AJ. Shh. Now you've stated the horrible obvious. And how am I going to want to throw my money now? On Kurt Cobain. Don't ruin this for me, okay? Don't do that. That's funny when you guys are saying that. Casey says, I'm not claiming to be a huge Nirvana fan, but I have listened to all 3 of their albums, and I'm getting into it. In Utero is probably my favorite, and then Bleach, and then Nevermind. In Utero is, wait, they had 4. I totally feel like an idiot. I knew I should have. I'm so sorry, guys. My brain is a little dusty. I'm so sorry. I thought they had 4. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's Nevermind, In Utero, Bleach, and they're Unplugged and Live at Reading. Oh, Live at Reading? Oh, I loved Live at Reading. That one was one of my favorites. I want to find that one, too. In Utero is definitely my favorite, I have to say. I definitely love Bleach because it was the first one I ever heard. So I guess In Utero and Bleach are like fighting it out in my head. But yeah, those were absolutely the best. And of course I love In Utero because my favorite song is on that album. So, and you're like, really? Oh my God, I want to win that gift card. So I know you guys are going to go right now and go look at all of the songs. Actually, let me make sure that that is the one that it's on. I'm pretty positive it is because it was their last one. Yes, absolutely, it did. Check in the pantry. The pizza sauce is in there. Well, shit, no, it's not. I apologize. So all apologies. So don't go out. Don't go look at that one and look and see, is that Mary's favorite one? 400. So let's see. There's a 4. Yo, yeah, insecticide. Thank you. Just Me is the smartest. It was insecticide. Thank you so much. That is the one that has my my favorite song on there. Hang on, let me just pull that up too. I'm also, I can't believe now I'm also giving freaking browser history and all that stuff to Courtney as well. I'm so damn shameful, people. It's just nuts. Oh my God, this is an awful. No. I'm so sorry. We get Meghan Trainor when we're trying to listen to Nirvana. This is insane. Okay. Thank you so much, Just Me. You are badass. I hope that you are sticking around for a long time. Yes, thank you so much. It is Insecticide. Thank you. That is absolutely the one. And I love, oh my God, just that one came out in 90. It says right here, it came out in 92. Oh yeah, Christmas of 92. That's right. That's because that's right after the Guns N' Roses. That's the next Christmas after Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion came out. And I remember wanting Insecticide and not being disappointed because I have to be honest, that has to be my favorite album of all time. It has every single one of my favorite songs are on this album. So absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see if anybody has gotten the question right. Off topic, where's 911 episode 10 review? That is hilarious, Casey. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. All right. Let's see. Stray Butt says, is it? And I love her. No. Guys, gotta go because I have a early day. Oh, take it easy, Glenn. Insecticide isn't a legit album, so I skipped over it. It's not. It's totally fucking legit, Casey. Oh my God. Casey, I need to teach you about music. Hashtag husband supreme. What's up, buddy? What? Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to thumb it up and, of course, subscribe because I'm going to be doing this again next year. And I'll probably do something for his birthday as well. So stick around because I'll do that next February. And then, of course, this in April. Maybe we'll do something else, too, at the rest of the year. So it is 9:27, and let's see if anybody... Glenn says, I just looked at the description and I can't stop laughing at the DICKHOLES band. Thank you so much, guys, on the congratulations on my early wedding anniversary. It is mine and Blake's 12th. It is really exciting. We've been together for like 17 years, but this is our 12th anniversary. So it's really awesome. All right, so let's see. Let me go back. Let's see. Alicia says, my surgeons will probably think I'm crazy, but I got Nirvana on my playlist for my C-section. My son will be born to the man who sold the world. Yes, Alicia. That is badass. AJ says, Casey doesn't like anything unpopular or unrealized. I know. He's crazy. That's why I love him so much. Because he keeps me in beat. Okay, so that's why he's absolutely amazeballs in my book. Casey says, I mean, it's not like an LP studio album. Right, that's why it's better because it's not an LP studio album. That's why. Casey says also he's picking up his sister from the airport in an hour. Oh, that's cool, Casey. I hope you enjoy your visit with your sister. Hey, Henry Mills Chase, it's so glad to have you. I'm so glad to have you here. Guys, we are absolutely doing a contest right now. If you can, I've told you guys many times before, but if you will answer this question, what is my favorite Nirvana song? You will win a $10 Amazon gift card. And as long as you get the answer right, no, you cannot answer, Venice. You do not qualify. I know it. But the fact that my own son knows my favorite Nirvana song shows that how great of a parent I am. You know? No. So, thank you so much, Henry. It's so great to have you here, and you are so sweet. Casey, you should definitely give that a listen. Mary, I thought your favorite song was the one that you always play with your name in it. No, AJ. And it is not Sliver. You guys, you are so not. I can't believe this. I have told you guys 100 times what my favorite Nirvana song is. If we can't, okay, I'm going to give you guys like 2 more minutes. And if nobody gets it, then I'm just going to have to do like a different question, okay? No, you cannot because they have 2 minutes. If people don't get it, you can say it. Yes, I knew it. Sorry. And I will also, Mary telling her son not to say her favorite Nirvana song is The Realist 2018 Parenting. That's right. No, just me. It is not Turn Around. No, it is not Beeswax. Just Me is trying to win this gift card. Right on. I know. It's not Polly. It is not Mexican seafood. Although Mexican seafood is really yummy. You're making me very hungry right now. Okay, you guys got 1 more minute. So I'm going to have to, I guess, pick something out of this. And one thing before we go, now we're going to move into the conspiracy of Kurt Cobain because it's now 9:30. I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute to get the answer. And if nobody gets it, like I said, I'll, oh no, I think I messed up my camera. Sorry, guys. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Just Me finally got it. It's aneurysm. Thank you. Okay, Just Me. All you have to do is private message me through YouTube your email address. Or you can just list it here in the chat. It will disappear after this video processes. And I will send it to you. So Just Me won the contest. Just Me, congratulations. You are awesome. And yes, Aneurysm is my favorite Nirvana song of all time. The second one is Come As You Are, for obvious reasons. And if my children weren't in the room, I would explain the obvious reasons to you guys. But all you have to do is just go back to further Kurt Cobain live streams, and it's in there. All right, so boom, you won Just Me. So send that to me. So this is one of my favorite ones right here is Cobain Unseen. It's got some really cool stuff in there, like a CD. And like they've got like some pretty cool replicas of like some things that he's written. It's even like replicated on like actual paper. So, I mean, it's just, I have to put this back in here without losing it now. So it's just really awesome. And they, you know, list like his, the map of where he lived. There is, oh no, BRT says YouTube saves the chats now, so they'll be visible for future viewers. So Just Me, either direct message me through YouTube or direct message me through Facebook, which is MaryGirl Moody. Send it to me there, and all I just need is your email address, and boom, it's right to you. So I like this one. This is one of my favorite ones, and because of the pictures, I love the Life magazine. And Casey says, at Alicia, Betty Crocker is shook. Petty Crocker. Alicia said, Alicia. So sorry. Bad during pollen. That was hilarious. Petty Crocker. Alicia said something about Petty Crocker, like Betty. That's hilarious. And so Casey said that Betty Crocker was shook. But yeah, I do love the Life magazine. I mean, I really hate it that I opened it right to this page. But they do have some really cool photos in there. You know, and then of course they go over the 27 Club. So you get some pretty cool images of like Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison. Let's see. And I don't believe, but they probably did. Yeah, they put his suicide letter in here. So, which I don't believe it's not in the journals. It's nowhere else. So as far as I'm concerned, like for me, this is the only place where I actually have like a physical copy to like look at and actually look at something, not like just through a computer screen. So, yeah, I know, Chase. Amy Winehouse was awesome. They also had some beautiful pictures of her. And here, I just want to show you real quick. Guys, I would appreciate it if you're not watching. Bye-bye. Thank you. So, I'm sorry, I accidentally knocked over the magazine. So they really have some pretty ones in here. I like this one, the colored one. The black and white one is beautiful. I mean, it's really perfect. But the black and white one is just, I don't know, this is perfect. Alicia, you are keeping Casey alive. So, okay, let's talk, guys, because now that we moved on to the actual letter, I think this is a perfect way to segue into what people are also calling as the conspiracy theory of Courtney Cobain, that Courtney Love had Kurt killed. Now, I have to say that I'm going to play you guys something, and it's on YouTube. You can look at the link. I'm not trying to steal anybody's copyright. I just wanted to play a little bit for you because I found it very interesting. There's a lot of people out there. I don't know, for me, I think I would need more information before I would accurately judge on whether or not Courtney Love had Kurt Cobain killed. Now, okay, there is a lot of very overwhelming evidence, and Husband Supreme is one of those who is compelled by that overwhelming evidence. But for me, there's a couple of things that I do. No, not the Courtney tape. I promise, Tami. No, I don't. And I'm not going to play whole, AJ. I swear. It's only Nirvana tonight. So, and guys, don't forget, if you are enjoying the stream, please thumb it up. I would appreciate it. So this is an interview with Duff McKagan. Remember, guys, he is a guitarist for Guns N' Roses, and I feel like an asshole. I know he's not the drummer, obviously, but he could be I feel like an asshole that I don't know off the top of my head right now, because Guns N' Roses is literally right underneath Nirvana is one of my favorite bands. I saw them in 1991 when they did their back-to-back tour with Metallica. They came to Austin, and I rode literally in the trunk of a tiny ass sports car just so I can go to the concert for like hours just to see Guns N' Roses. And I was like maybe 12 or 13 at the time. Yeah, I could, because I couldn't have been older, and there's no way I could have been younger. Okay, go ahead, Vince. So, but when I saw this, Duff sat beside Kurt during the plane ride when he went back to Seattle, and he talked with them. And this is the interview that he gave about it. So I'm going to go on ahead and just like put it in a theater mode, and I'm going to exchange screens, switch it so that way you guys can actually see what I'm seeing and hear what he's saying. So if you give me a second, let me switch this over. And again, you guys, I will definitely put a link to this in the description. I'm definitely not trying to steal anyone's copyright or show something that I'm not supposed to. I just thought that this was very compelling to the suicide side of the situation, and I just wanted to know your opinions. Venice, please stop playing soccer in the hallway. It is 9:40. Go sit down or go to bed. Thank you. Love you more. So let's do a screen share. And let's do this. He's talking about the plane ride. And if you guys want to see this, I'm sorry. If you guys want to see this, literally just type Duff McKagan interview Kurt Cobain. And then that's all you have to do. It'll be like the first one that pulls up. See if you go back, it talks it right there. And then here's another one of them. Both are equally good videos, but this one is just short, sweet, and to the point. And that's why I picked this one more. And again, huge shout out to less of you who posted this.
Yeah. And I get on the plane, and Kurt gets on the plane and sits next to me. And we took off, and he and I started talking. He had told me, it just took off from next to me. We talked, we were drinking, and did you talk about any of that heroin addiction on that plane journey? No, because we didn't want to, no way.
Okay, so if you guys want to see this a little bit more, you can.
The classic, and it happens all the time, you know. That's the only time you really talk about it. You know, we got to Seattle. We went to Bags Claim, and he was pretty down. And a friend of mine, this guy Eddie, met me at Bags Claim in Seattle. Kurt and Eddie went out.
I hope you guys can hear it.
My friend Eddie came back in. I said, "Hey man, you know, maybe we should take him over to the house tonight." You know, and we were drinking. You know, so it wasn't a thing like I foresaw anything by any means. But he was down and he was on his own. And so Eddie went back out to get Kurt, and right at that moment his car had picked him up and he was gone. Are you surprised it was a suicide? No. I mean, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anything like that's going to be shocking.
He says he's shocked about it, but he is not surprised.
Chair in surprise.
Yeah.
It's not like the guy was jumping around for joy the night before.
So I just wanted to play that for you guys, and just let me know again what your comments are about that. Again, you can. I apologize if the actual video didn't play or sound very well, but again, you get the point of you know, what you can search and the video that you can go look at. And again, a big shout out to Less of You for posting that video. You guys should definitely go give it a check out, give them a thumbs up, you know, support their channel. Absolutely. AJ says, am I the only one who thinks of Duff Beer from The Simpsons when you hear his name? That's funny. Kurt and Courtney was a good documentary. That was a very good one as well, Alicia. Thank you also to BRT for letting me know that the audio was acceptable. Oh, I did not know that, Tami. Thank you for letting me know. Tami says that Duff is from Seattle as well. God, my hair really does look grungy today, guys. I have to say, you know, I haven't washed my hair for like a couple of days because I wanted to look grungy, you know, for the for the video. So I'm glad it definitely pulls through in this in the camera. Tami says that Kurt's case will never be closed. Chase says that Guns N' Roses was an awesome group. I would have given a lot of people, it would have given a lot of people closure if they would have shown more evidence. I agree, Stray Bullet. That's why I think a lot of people don't feel closure about it, is because, number one, guys, what kind of a person commits suicide by injecting themselves with massive amounts of heroin and then just shoots themselves? Especially of a guy who did not believe in violence such as that. I've watched a ton of documentaries, and like I said, I've read all of these books that I am surrounded by. And every person is consistent when they say that Kurt was not a violent person. He did not like violence, and that's really why he made music, and he expressed a lot of his feelings and his emotions and things like anger through his music, because he just wasn't, you know, that kind of a violent person. And the actual act that he did of shooting himself is what Kurt would consider a violent act. So a lot of people believe, who were very close to him, they might have believed that he committed suicide, but the way that he did it, that's what has them having second thoughts. And that's another thing that gives me second thoughts, because that's one thing that really stuck out, because his best friend Dylan has given many interviews. And, you know, I do believe a lot of what is insinuated, that Dylan was probably too fucked up on drugs, and he was probably too much in mourning to be in actual of right mind, to have realized certain facts. So when he stands up and says, if I would have, you know, because he did say specifically in an interview, and I do apologize, I don't have the video right in front of me, but Dylan did say, either in a documentary or like an interview, that if he truly would have believed that Kurt would have killed himself, then he wouldn't have left him alone, and he wouldn't have, you know, bought him the gun. So I thought that had heavy credibility, because my best friend, who I was so insanely close to, literally emotionally wise, so insanely close, If I really would have believed that she would have harmed herself or hurt herself, there are certain steps, there's certain things I would have done. So I do believe that he does have some credibility when he says that, but that interview was back from the 90s. And I do believe that there is such a thing as that time doesn't heal wounds, but it does give time for people to think. And I think that if Dylan wouldn't have been so fucked up on drugs, that he probably would have gone back in his life and remembered to see some signs that either Courtney was going to hurt him or that he was going to hurt himself. So again, if the drugs would not have played such a heavy part, I do believe that he would be one of the best people to tell us today what had possibly happened. I know for myself, after my best friend passed away, I went right back through everything to, did I miss something? What happened? It was just insane. And I just think that the people who were closest to the victim is the person who was most credible. And, but unfortunately, Dylan isn't too credible due to the fact that he was on massive narcotics at the time. Tami says, I loved Soundgarden a bit more. Oh my God, you are insane, Tami. I do, Henry. I love your new name, Ryan Mitchell Chase. It's awesome. I think it was harder for Chris to lose Kurt. Absolutely. Tami, I do believe that. Kurt, if you go back and you see the history of Nirvana, Dave Grohl only came in kind of like Nevermind at their album. He wasn't one of the first original drummers. And he kind of came in right when they got famous. So he really wasn't an original band member like Chris was. And plus, it seemed to me like kind of Dave just like stepped away from the drugs, maybe not the groupies, but maybe not the alcohol. But he kind of knew when to say no, and he kind of knew what was going to hurt his chances for a future. As you can tell, he's very successful. He's married. He's got two girls. He's got the Foo Fighters. He's very successful. So you can tell he was just always a guy with a good head on his shoulders. I would say the same thing for Chris, but he was, if you go back like myself and you go back and look at their really early recordings of just Kurt singing to a wall, into a microphone that's literally in front of this horrible wood paneled wall, and he's literally face into it singing at it. I mean, you can see their magic even from back then. So I absolutely can imagine for Chris that this has to be the hardest thing for him out of all the band members. Even probably for Kurt's mom. I mean, as you can see from like documentaries and stuff, that his parents really didn't play a good role. His aunt did. He loved his sister. But there were only certain family members that he was really close to. So yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, Stephanie says, can I get a close-up of the wedding ring? Let me see if it will actually do that. Stephanie, I have two. This is my grandmother's wedding ring, or this was a ring given to my grandmother when she was 13. So that was like 1933. And then this is another wedding ring. I wear them both together because I love my grandmother's ring, but obviously I want to wear something that Blake has given me. So, oh my God, my black makeup has definitely like gotten all smoky and grungy. I totally look perfect like the part now. I didn't realize that. Let's take a few more comments. Stray Bullet says, I remember Chris saying in an interview that he believes Kurt committed suicide because people don't want to believe their idol is gone. Oh, Stray Bullet, thank you so much. Chris has always been very silent. He has given interviews before, and from what I have gathered from those interviews of Dave and Chris, that they came to the same assumption that he committed suicide. And for me, there's nobody close to Kurt standing up and saying, Kurt would never have killed himself. There's no way that he would have done this. He didn't believe in it. He wasn't depressed. Something else had to have happened. If there was somebody in the family that's standing up and saying, hey, this isn't right. I mean, there's Courtney's dad, there's really good I'm sorry, I just didn't see a cobweb up there. Now I see it. I'm gonna have to get it after this live stream. You know, there's fans and there's certain, you know, people that are, yes, close to them, but no real people that were actually with them on a daily basis or who were, you know, really close to them, has actually stood up and said that. Now, I obviously could be wrong. I know that obviously the detective did Soaked in Bleach, and he did manage to garner some people, obviously, who came together to say that they did not believe that Kurt was suicidal. In fact, actually, there was even some of his family, I think, who said in Soaked in Bleach that Kurt was not suicidal. So I do apologize, guys, if I'm a little bit off on my facts. When Kurt died, mind you, this was 1994. The internet was not huge. I mean, it was there. Cell phones, the way that we got our media and our news, it's vastly different than it is nowadays. So I didn't even know anything about a conspiracy theory of Kurt Cobain being murdered until, you know, the next century. So yeah, I mean, nowadays you can get so much information is literally at your fingertips, and you have to decipher what's real and what's not and what's to believe. And absolutely, you know, it is really hard to decipher, but you know, you get people like Chris and Dave and like his mom and like very important, like Duff, you know, you get people who say that, yes, he was depressed, and it did not surprise us that we heard this and we believe he killed himself. When you hear that kind of stuff, even coming from his best friend, you can't think, but maybe he really did do it. But when you look at that suicide letter, and then you look at who Kurt was as a person, and then he obviously had to have been so overwhelmingly distraught to have done that. I mean, it's just always going to be a question. And unfortunately, it's just something that we're never going to know unless something new comes up, there was a witness or somebody admits something, but it's always going to be a question, and that's sad. But I guess in a good way, you know, it's kind of a way to keep Kurt alive and to keep Nirvana and keep the music going. And again, as AJ has said to us, unfortunately, we're only giving money to Courtney by doing that. Oh, and I want to know real quick, guys, since we have enough people here on the stream, would you guys buy a Courtney Love Pop Funko to go with your Kurt Cobain Pop Funko? Kurt, when I asked him, he said, fuck no. And I don't want little Kurt to get hooked on Pop Funko heroin. So I'm just going to not get a Courtney, okay? That's just what we're going to do. Oh, and thank you again so much to Tami. Oh, I love this Kurt. Like I said, he's normally up there overshadowing everything that's on that bookshelf because he's the best looking one up there, even though he is from Smells Like Teen Spirit. What's your least favorite Nirvana song, guys? We are Just Me says I'd buy a Courtney. Oh my God, Just Me. That's hilarious. That would be awesome. Just to shoot it. Just Me, you've won the one-liner award too. You're awesome. I hope we see you around again because you're awesome. AJ says, fuck no, I would not. That pop has the herpes. Oh my God. Hey, you never know what else. But yeah, love the little Kurt Cobain Pop Funko. So AJ says that Polly is his least favorite Nirvana song. And guys, let me know too in the comments what's your least favorite Nirvana song, and do you think it was suicide or murder? Put it into the comments so that way I will know. Right now, if I had to make a choice of whether or not it was suicide or murder, if I had to make a choice, I would say that based on scientific evidence of what we know about drugs and addiction, I would definitely say murder. Just because I know there's a huge dispute about the amount of heroin that Kurt injected. Could he have done what he did? Could he have shot himself? I honestly just don't think he could have. It's really sad. I mean, I've never seen somebody on heroin. I've never been around that, but I have seen Requiem for a Dream. And I have talked and spoken to a lot of people who have had addictions, and, you know, I've supported my family member who has had, who we've been so proud of. He's been very clean and sober, and I'm very proud of him. But, you know, addiction is there. Somebody knows somebody who has an addiction. So based on scientific evidence and what is out there about drugs and addiction, I would say it does not seem scientifically possible that he could have ingested that much heroin and then had the sense to shoot himself afterwards. Especially if he was in such a perfect way to get his face. I mean, literally, he got like the whole face. There was basically nothing left. I mean, I know a lot of you out there probably seen the photos. If not, I wouldn't recommend it. But there are photos out there, and literally his face was gone. So I don't understand that even if he had all that heroin in him, how he would have had the sense to load the weapon. Possibly he already had it loaded, but still he would have had to have picked it up and aimed it properly and had the conscious thought of doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, once, like, I could be, obviously, guys, I could be wrong. I apologize. I have never done anything like that. I don't know anything about that. But as far as from what I have seen about heroin, you're taken over immediately. You know, you, and besides, every person who ODs, everything is always left in their arm, like where they've cut off the circulation, or like the spoon is still there, still like hot, you know, from where they've taken up the needle. Usually, even if you guys even remember, every person who's ever OD'd, not like on a speedball, they've always had things left, like strapped onto their arm. The drugs has even been left in their arm even afterwards. So even when you don't OD, that's just what they do. They're not even conscious enough to remove the rubber thingy that's holding their blood flow, that's controlling their blood flow. They don't even have they usually have somebody there with them to remove it. So I don't know. Mo says, I'm so sorry, but I don't really know anything about Nirvana. Why is Courtney suspicious? Mo, no worries, because some people inject through the toe, Mary. Oh my God. That's so sad that you could be hooked on something to do that. You know, that's just, I really feel for anybody who's ever had an addiction, something like that. You know, I just really feel for them. That I just wish I could just cure them and they would never have to feel anything like that again. Yeah, Stray Bullet, all of his stuff was neatly in a box. But Mo, if you just Google Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain, you should see it. Also, Soaked in Bleach is on YouTube. You can watch it. There's plenty of documentaries about Kurt Cobain and his death. I really recommend that you watch them because they're very interesting. There's El Duce, who was, I don't remember if he was a wrestler or something, but he came out and he told a documentary guy that Courtney Love offered to give him $50,000 to kill Kurt Cobain. Now, he actually went in front of a camera with a documentary crew and admitted this. And literally, guys, right after he admitted this, crazy enough, he was on train tracks and was just run over by a train. I mean, it was like the weirdest thing. People even think that he was murdered because he admitted to these documentary makers about Courtney and her offer to him to kill Kurt. So, yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. So, you know, I guess it all depends on, lies in with who you believe. You know, do you believe that guy El Duce? Do you believe his bandmates? Even though, you know, Dave probably wasn't with him so much, but you know, once a guy gets hooked with a girl, he's with her all the time, and they had Frances. I mean, it's very likely that Chris and Dave weren't really watching what Kurt was doing those final months. I mean, as far as I knew, there was even a big thing in the air if the band was even going to continue because they were just so big. It was too much for Kurt to handle. But then, of course, you get some information about how Kurt really didn't try to kill himself in Rome, that was Courtney trying to kill him. I mean, it was really interesting. There was a lot of information that I did not know, that I saw in Soaked in Bleach, such as that Kurt Cobain's supposed overdose or accidental overdose in Rome, like a couple of months before his suicide, wasn't an accident. So yeah, it was crazy. I mean, but that again, that's another conspiracy thing. They couldn't, as far as I'm concerned, in my mind, I'm somebody who's very methodical. I go on facts, I go on science. And when I saw the data given by the doctors and everything from his medical test results in Rome, it seemed to me that he did not intentionally do that to himself. It really did seem that somebody gave him too much medication trying to kill him. So I probably should go back and watch that documentary. It has been many years since I've watched that. But, you know, like I said, thank you, Jack. Jack hits it right on the head. And he says, it's all so confusing. Because like I said, there's so much evidence for both sides. Because again, you do have his family, his best friend, people who were with him in his final hours, they all say that he was depressed and that they weren't surprised that he committed suicide. And then you have other people who say that, yeah, maybe he was suicidal, but he would never have done it that way. And then you have medical coroners who say that there's no way that he could have ingested that much drugs and then shot himself. And then you have Courtney's suspicious activities about her behavior with the money and Kurt, and then those notes she left around the house about Kurt supposedly being there in those days. I mean, yes, it's all very crazy. My honest opinion is that somebody found Kurt dead before the actual electrician, and they just didn't know what to do. They didn't know if it was a suicide, if it was murder. Maybe they did know, and they just had to like put extra things out to kind of make sure that nothing was looked at Courtney. I mean, like I said, it's just so crazy. There's so much information, and unfortunately, we will never, ever know. What really sucks, though, is that I read an article a couple of years ago where Frances Bean was heavily stalked by some Nirvana fans. I mean, she came home one night to find one of the fans sitting in like her living room in the dark. He claimed that he was the resurrected soul of Kurt Cobain, and he was there to like reunite with his daughter. I mean, it was some crazy psycho shit that this poor girl has to deal with. And then everywhere she goes, you know, she's always asked, do you think your father killed himself? Which, even if you guys have seen Montage of Heck, I know it does seem very biased. It's a very good documentary. Again, I just watch anything, I read anything, and I just take from it what I get. And then I do my own interpretations of whether or not I believe it or anything. But from what I got of Montage of Heck, even Frances Bean has came to the consensus that her father committed suicide. You know, she's not standing up and saying, my mom killed my dad. And that to me is very compelling. I still lean towards the fact that scientifically it does seem impossible for him to have done what he did and to be able to shoot himself so basically perfectly, even in that sort of state. That just seems nearly impossible to me. But, you know, his own daughter, his friends, best friend, bandmates, nobody is standing up to say, hey, ding, 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 this bitch right here murdered him. Her. I mean, nobody is saying that. And only like her father and the El Dace guy, and you know, who's dead now. So bad for his ass. Literally, especially since he got run over by a train. But when you're just missing all this compelling information that needs to be there in order to kickstart this investigation, you can't do anything with it. It's just going to continue to be a conspiracy theory. So unless in my opinion, unless Francis, his best friend, his mom, what's wrong, baby? Okay. If any of them step up and say, hey, there's no way he would have done this to himself, I think maybe you need to look at somebody in particular, then that's when maybe I'll stand up and say, Courtney Love killed Kurt. But, you know, right now I'll say it seems like murder, but there's so much evidence out there to show me that, yeah, that might be my personal opinion, but that's all it is. It's just a personal opinion with actually absolutely no facts to back it up or to even show that I could be correct. Because like I said, there is no family members. There's nobody saying anything. And if somebody that I knew and loved were hurt by their spouse like that, I'd stand up and say something. You know, I wouldn't just let Courtney buy my drugs or buy my silence, you know, which I think a lot of people have been implying that that's why nobody has ever stood up and said anything against Courtney, is because they're too scared because she controls the Nirvana label. And she controls a lot. I mean, she's a very powerful feminist. I know a lot of people really hate to admit this, but you know, you want to point your finger. If I'm just trying to say, if Dave Grohl was to ever step up and say, this hoe right here murdered the lead singer to our band, he better be prepared to back his shit up and to watch himself, you know, because you know, she is a very vengeful person from what I have heard. And she has even said it herself in interviews. She's very vengeful. She will retaliate against somebody if she feels wronged. So I understand why nobody has ever stood up. So like I said, you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up the live stream. So guys, I am going to start resuming my weekly Wednesday live streams next week. I am very excited because finally we're getting news to report. So it seems time to start resuming them again. So excuse me, I'm going to start making the links for them in my channel, and they will be on my subscription page. So you guys will be able to see them. Excuse me. Mondays Are Murder will resume soon. I apologize. I got very discouraged when I accidentally deleted my Amerithrax file. I just haven't found the heart to finish it. And I got in contact with one of the sisters from one of the victims in my episode 6. And I decided to go on ahead and cease making them for right now because she agreed. Excuse me, she has not agreed, but I sent her an email asking her if I could just ask her a few questions for my episode. I would just, you know, be greatly appreciative. So I'm just waiting on a response from that. She seems very reciprocative. I can't even enunciate right now at 10:07. She seems very accepting. So I'm really hoping to have better information for episode 6. So I do apologize. I do normally reach out if there's family members still alive or that do talk to the press. I do try to reach out to them for the Mondays Are Murder episodes if I can find the information. And I did find the information for Cynthia Brito. And I'm really excited because her sister is still alive. She's fighting for her sister still for justice. And yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really hoping that, you know, she can give me a little bit of information, something for the video that we can, you know, work for it. And I think that would be really awesome to kind of have that little extra touch to it. So anyway, so let's see. Let's take a peek at the comments. Shout out to you, Chase. If you guys want to shout out, please list them in the comments. And just me, if you are still here, please do not forget to either direct message me through MaryGirl Moody on Facebook or direct message me here on YouTube with your email address. So that way I can send you that gift card. Congratulations again to winning. Let's see. Alicia says, at AJ, Suge Knight and the LAPD killed Pac. Diddy and a gang killed Biggie, in my opinion. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, so I guess they're also taking a consensus in here about who killed Biggie and Tupac, which, true. I mean, that also is a really big one. It's really shocking too that they have never found the person who did the drive-by on Biggie. I mean, that's so weird. That was, you know, that's like 96, I think.
Look at the rims of the car that Tupac died in.
Yeah.
Compared to the news feed.
Right.
Actual,
my husband loves conspiracies.
And you'll notice that the two are different by the rims.
And also, when they stopped the car when Tupac was killed, the key, they said that they just literally, the car came to like a crash, but there were no keys in the ignition. So it's so weird. There's definitely conspiracy theories out there that I have been very interested in with those. So yeah, my husband's definitely telling you guys to look at the picture to the rims. What is the one of Tupac?
So look at the picture.
He says, look at the picture of the car.
And then look at the live news feed.
And then the live news feed that they did of the car, of Tupac.
Showing the car.
Showing the car.
It's two completely different cars.
They're two completely different cars. So check that out. That's what Husband Supreme says. I think I'm going to have to go check this out, guys, afterwards. We might have to. Oh, my God. Okay. Tell you what, guys. Let's tentatively plan for 2 weekends from now. We'll do a live stream about conspiracies, okay? And I will set it far in advance so you guys can hit me up with your favorite conspiracies that we can go over and talk about so I can do a little research, have something that we can kind of chat about. So expect that, okay? We're going to do a conspiracies video. Get ready for that. Let's tentatively say like 2 to 3 weeks, okay? And during that live stream as well, I will give away another gift card for that one. So Glenn says that the entertainment industry is full of shady, creepy shit. Absolutely. Glenn Murphy, I thought you had to go to bed. Go to bed. Stop staying up. Just Me says that somebody says that Tupac is still alive. Glenn says that have to say though, if Courtney didn't do it, it must be horrible to be accused daily by people. Glenn, that is a really good point. And that was something I really never thought of. And I love how you see the other side of this with like a sweet, tender heart way. I love you, Glenn. You're so sweet. That is true. I mean, that would have to be horrible. I mean, sure, she's guilty of being a shitty wife, but not, being accused constantly of killing your husband when you didn't. That would have to be like really fucking horrible to go through. Absolutely, Glenn. That's a good point out. Mo says it's always hard for me to believe conspiracy theories, so I don't know. I'll have to look into this. Absolutely. I agree with you completely on that, Mo, about the conspiracy theories. Like the earth is flat, kind of. I'm sorry, but that is hilarious. What are you looking at? That's because I saw my husband watching. Should have seen that look he gave me, guys. I heard him watching a video about the earth being flat. And I laughed so hard. So I watched the video. I feel terrible because my sweet husband Supreme right here. Like, you really think the world is flat? Okay. Okay. I'm going to look into that Tupac and Biggie conspiracy. Let's take a couple more comments and then I'll do the shout outs. Casey says, I watched that video of the guy saying she asked him and I was surprised. And the whole train thing is what made me believe that she killed him. Okay, so that's the El Doce thing that Casey's talking about. Casey's talking about how he watched the video of El Doce confessing that Courtney asked him to kill Kurt Cobain for 50 grand. And that the fact that he was murdered or that he was killed afterwards in a freak train accident like a couple of weeks later is what made him think that he was killed. But what is so weird, if you guys look at that though, that guy was alone. He wasn't intoxicated. Nobody pushed him. I mean, there was a conductor actually in front of the train. Nobody pushed him. There was nobody else around. I mean, it's really weird. So, I mean, look into the El Doce. I'm probably enunciating it incorrectly, but if you just Google Kurt Cobain and then do the EL, it'll just probably automatically bring it up for you. Okay, so let's go back down to the more current comments and let's check that out. AJ, that's funny. If the world is flat, how do we travel around the world? We don't. We just fall off. You guys, when I was a little kid, I remember the Blues Brothers movie. I'm kidding. Excuse me. No, I'm serious. I was born in the 70s. I was a little kid in the 80s. At the end of the Blues Brothers, where the cop car hangs off of the highway, and then it just bounces back, and they're safe, but the Nazi guys go off the highway. I was so small. I thought that was really the end of the world. And I honestly thought that the world was flat and that somewhere we would just fall off. Now, mind you, I was like 5, 4. These were 60-something-year-old scientists. Okay, I'm so sorry. I love you, Blake. You were the husband supreme. Let's move on to UFO conspiracy. No, okay, so Glenn says insomnia has him up. So if you want to shout out, let's go on ahead and let's do shout out. Jack says maybe Kurt was forced to kill himself. So maybe El Doce was like forced to kill himself. So he jumped into the track in fear of Courtney. Right? Seriously.
Or he threatened to sleep with him.
Courtney threatened to have sex with him, so he jumped in front of a train. That's what my husband just said. That's hilarious. Glenn says, Mary, you got to do a Joan Benet cough, cough, Katie. Please don't get me started. That is one of the most hilarious conspiracy theories I've ever heard of. Joan Benet is Katy Perry. Okay. That is the most hilarious thing I have ever heard. So let's shout out to you, Chase. Glenn says boats. Oh no, I'm not gonna read. Boats reach a certain point in the water and they just fall off the flat earth and into space. That's why they're called spaceships. Okay, I'm about to probably get like into trouble with my husband, so let's not talk about that flat thing anymore. No Katy Perry talk. Exactly. Thank you, Tami. Let's see. Glenn says, can you believe John Benet Ramsey is judging American Idol? That's hilarious, Glenn. All right, guys. So huge shout out to Husband Supreme. He really is the best. He is the best. I love him so much. I'm so blessed to have him. We're coming up to our wedding anniversary, and I'm just he is perfection, and I am so glad to have him. So let's see. I'm going to kiss ass. Okay, I think I've made my husband upset. I'm not one of those women who like make it his fault. I kiss ass. AJ, huge shout out to you, to BRT, to Alicia, and to Tami, to Casey, Maisie, Danny, Reese, Jonas. I'm going to feel like crap if I forgot anybody. All of my admins. Thank you so much to Chase for being here. Glenn, you were awesome. Thank you for being here. Jack, you were awesome. Thank you so much for your comments. Just Me, again, you were awesome for winning the gift card. Congratulations. Please don't forget to send me your email address. Mo, so glad to have you here as well. And if I forgot anybody, just let me know in the comments. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate you all coming here for the live stream that is dedicated to Kurt Cobain. Thank you all for the the conspiracy theory comments, for the laughs, and for also participating in the contest, for the likes, for everything. You guys are all so welcome. Again, the only reason why I do these is just to interact with you guys and, share same thoughts and opinions and listen to what your ideas are. So thank you so much. My husband said my goal is to become a celebrity and sell out. Shh, don't tell them the truth, Blake. Okay. I don't want to be like what Kurt Cobain didn't want to be. Dave Chappelle. Oh my God, Dave Chappelle, that poor man has been replaced. Seriously, guys, that is a conspiracy theory that we really should go into that has a lot of clout to it. So anyway, thank you. Thank you all so much. You were all awesome. Love you all so much, and I will see you all next live stream, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, obviously. Bye.